Well, hello everyone. How you doing? Trust your day is going well. I hope you're enjoying the journey, and I hope every day that journey is bringing new discoveries. Collect them, absorb them, because it is your life. So, glad you're watching. Thank you for joining. And I believe I got a really good treat for you. Uh, So I had another program that I was going to do, and I came across some archival footage that I had done over a year and a half ago. And I thought, well, I know that this group could give some pretty good insights into what I'm about to show you. So this footage is from the International Space Station. It is from the feeds that they were putting up. Today, they have definitely, how should we say, curtailed much of the anomalies that they were showing us for a number of years. So I want you to check this out and tell me if this isn't some of the strangest stuff. I'm going to tell you what you're going to see. Number one, you're going to see the sun going the wrong way. Yeah, retroverting. You're going to see the reality that there are objects as big as the Earth that apparently intersect with the Earth. And then you're going to see that the moon is not the size that you and I have always been told it is. All right, so let's go for this. Give me 1 second here and I'll get them racked up for you. Okay, it tells me it's resuming the recording. So just to set the foundation, this is a sunrise. And as you see, I'm just going to advance it for you. There is the ISS, and there's our sun. Okay. Notice the camera, please. Notice which port, which camera we're actually viewing here, because this is going to become really important. All right. And there goes the sun. All right. Then we get the ISS and, you know, the curvature of the Earth. All right. That's pretty cool, right? All right. So check this out. Okay. So you just saw where that camera was at, right? Check this one out. I'm going to turn down the sound because in here I was, well, making comments like, hey, what's going on here? That sun's a going the wrong direction. And it is. It's going in the wrong direction. All right, let's just continue to watch it. Now, may I draw your attention to this? Does that not look to you like smoke? Something burning off of whatever this is. Now, you saw in the previous video, same camera pointed in the same direction, but this object is going the opposite direction. And unlike what we have seen to be our sun, there's smoke coming off this one. It's a strange, folks. I don't understand it. Now, if you pay attention as it continues to get near the Earth here, you can actually see the inside of the space station. I got another camera out here pointing at ever what this event is along with this camera. I'm still surprised to this day that they actually allowed this to be shown. Now, this actually came off of a website, I think it's ny2.com, I think. I'll show you later in this clip because I'm going to let this play out in real time. It's so worth watching. I mean, tell me, does that not look like smoke coming off of this object? It looks like a comet to me, but I don't know if a comet moves this slow. Maybe it's a near Earth object skimming off of our atmosphere. I don't know. But they're telling us, can you see? Can you see the camera right here? And you can actually see equipment here. You'll see up later on as this goes behind the Earth. I don't know what this is. I can tell you I have hundreds of hours of sunsets, sunrises, many of them from this camera, but that's going in the wrong direction. I'm just telling you, for our sun. And you can actually see now the equipment cameras that are sitting out here. And that's something you need to understand as well. I get a lot of comments sometimes is that people don't understand. These are not telescopes, folks. These are specialized cameras. And you can see the outside of the space station. So whatever this object is, it's definitely outside of the ISS. It has characteristics that are supposed to be like our sun, but I have never seen our sun leave a smoke trail behind it. And look at this, folks. You can actually see that this is really substance here. Now here's the best example, what tells me that I swear it looks like a comet. But it's giving off the strange light, the strange glow. Look at how it actually reverberates. I mean, flickers, reverberates. Well, actually, I guess that's actually a pretty technical, correct term. So we get the, now what's different about this hue is that number one, the enormity of it, how it cuts off right here instead of being symmetrical, going up over the curvature of the Earth. Now you can actually begin to see that the signal is degrading. There is an object right up here. So I don't know if that's associated with this phenomenon. I don't know. The event itself was strange, and I haven't been able to find another one like it. Now I'm going to just go ahead and advance this up here a little bit because you can see how the degradation really happens on the signal. And then right here, actually, so this is continued on here. It should not, there's the website. So it's n2yo.com, and you can actually see where they were at. They're near Antarctica, folks. This is what's so weird. And I can tell you, every time they get near Antarctica, fly over Antarctica, you're not getting squat. But all of the weird phenomenon that in the next video that you're going to see has all happened while the ISS was over or near. And here you can actually see it right here, folks. Okay, I'll stop this. We'll stop the share. Ba-ba-ba-bum. All right, now I've got another one for you that's going to rack your brain. Hold on a second. Now, I'll guarantee you, folks, this one is going to blow your mind. Let me set the scene of what you're looking at. This is a camera, another camera off of the International Space Station. We are witnessing an event as they're coming over or near Antarctica. It was phenomenal that they let this footage out. And folks, I don't know if you can find this. It may be in, like I said, other people's personal archives. I have racked my brain on this one, and you are very intelligent individuals. So you're looking out. We're getting off the live feed, and I will let the rest of this begin to play out for you. It's nearly 15 minutes long, but I'm going to play this in real time at the beginning for you. I have no idea where this light is emanating from. All I know is that the camera is pointing out to something in front of the space station. I have postulated, after hundreds of hours of looking at this, we are seeing a phenomenon that defies rational thought or science as to what we know it. Whatever the photon beam is, and a photon is light, is bright, it's huge. I have no idea where it's coming from, neither will you, because what you think right now, this video will turn it upside down. Notice how the photon beam is being either deflected or absorbed off of this object. This is a spear that you're going to see later on, because I'm going to actually do it in some filters for you, and that's going to blow you away. Now notice how the photon beam, and that's what I'm calling it, is a beam, has a degradation value at the back end. So the intensity of the beam itself is being absorbed, deflected, refracted off of something here. This object is a real object. It's not a reflection of anything. It is real. I don't know what it is. Again, notice how the beam begins to grow and to intensify. If you slow this down and you take a picture, you really begin to see that it's actually almost like it's being absorbed. Now, folks, in the next video, I'm going to show you there are spears within spears here. I've counted at least 3. This object, by all measurement, is as big as the Earth. Look at what's happening here. The light is actually, well, you've got the recording here. If you got the filters that you can actually manipulate, it's going to blow you away. Now look at here again. Here's another beam. We can't see this, but in a different filter, holy cow, Batman. Notice the different spears are now beginning to manifest. They're becoming lighter. Now, folks, there's no sun. The sun is setting. You'll see this here in the video. It is an amazing phenomenon. It truly is. And to watch it merely as it goes in real time, as it was being, as I recorded it directly off of the ISS feed, this was something, and you can actually see there is another spear right here. You can't see it in this light, but I have another video ready to go that you will actually begin to see. Now look how this light beam, I can't find an originating point for it, but it's here, and you can see it's as though this spear is not even, it's deflecting it. Something really is intense back here, because that's where I thought this was emanating from, but it appears it's not the case at all. Now, look at, did you just see that? Did you just see the other object just skim across there? So this is actually happening outside of the space station. And it's huge, ladies and gentlemen. It's huge. Look at this. Is it possible? I have read theories that we actually live among, in, and around other dimensions, multiple dimensions. I have also read that you can get into regions of space. You can learn to bend light and reveal these other dimensions. I hear and read that these spheres are bigger than our planet. Is it possible that they knew that there was going to be, look at this over here, folks. There's so much going on. Now, so you can see where the sun, this is supposedly right at the other end of the space station. I don't think so. I swear they just threw this feed in there to confuse us. Now, I think they had a mole in the inside of the ISS. You can see this is high definition. There it is right there. You can see the website. Look at this, folks. I really do believe that one of these past astronauts was one of the really good guys. And I don't think that we were ever meant to see this. Look at the size of that, folks. It's huge. I mean, if you just take it into relationship of objects that we see, and I have no idea where it's emanating from. None. But I'm letting this play out for you so you can see for yourself, because what you may be trying to postulate on your hypothesis on where that actually that photon beam is actually emanating from. Yeah. Now notice where we saw it before, here it's as though it's being absorbed, diffused in a whole different manner. Now, are we seeing spears within spears? Are we seeing possibly a ship? That is what I've come down to two possible conclusions. We're seeing a ship, or we're seeing galactic celestial objects actually manifesting in our dimension. And if you let your eyes adjust here, this is another spear right here, folks. I'm telling you, this will be the best 15 minutes that you have spent trying to figure this out, because I have spent time on this. You can see it's almost though it has an energy to it. The camera, when I put this in a different light spectrum, is that, and I want to stop it right here. Notice what's happening here. I believe that this may be the Earth of what we could have seen on the sun setting. I don't know. It would be in the right place, but watch what happens. Now you can see that this object or objects are actually over our Earth. But you can still see the translucence of it. Now, what I just told you that I thought that that was the Earth, and I was wrong. Look what happens here, folks. Now we're seeing these photon beams, these light beams, emanating from the other side of this object or objects. And it's almost like it has an energy, like it's vibrating, emanating, like there is a force field there. Maybe it's protecting whatever that bright object is in the center. But where would we get a technology that it would come off of the ISS? Now, I'm assuming the ISS. Maybe there's something else out there. Because look at what's happening. catch up at the right hand, top of the right hand corner there, folks. Now are you seeing the different densities of these spheres? Look at that. It's the same thing that you get a spotlight down here on terra firma. I swear it's hitting either a force field or an atmosphere. I mean, I look at these as almost like they're probes, like they're trying to get samples of the chemical compositions. You can tell that by the way a light will react. Now, this is not normal white light. Look how it's being diffused into the different spectrums here. I don't think that this is normal white light as we know it. Now look at what's happening here. Almost as if there is another object because this beam is now intensity and it looks like this is growing. It's like it's almost repelling this, pushing it back. And here comes yet another one. Now we've already seen objects flying through this. You saw it clearly at the beginning of the video. Look at this beam up here, folks. It looks like they put everything they had to try to penetrate the core over here. And this is what I'm calling is the core. I don't know. Maybe this has got something to do with it, but you can see here. Let me just stop right here, folks. So all of us that are not physicists, raise your hand. I'm raising mine. But how many of us have read enough that you think you could at least get, into the classroom? I have. Look what's happening here. Something is breaking down this light right here. And then look at this. Check that out. Look at the vibration. I mean, I've studied this. There is something, and look how it's pushing it back. So what's happening here? Is it the fact that the light field is being diminished by something? Now look at the intensity of what we're getting now. Look at this. I don't know how that could actually be emanating off of the space station. I guess it could. But I swear I don't know, again, what I'm looking at. And look at what's happening here. You can actually see the energy, folks. So we have an object in here, it would appear, because the light is bending. It's refracting off of something. Look at that. Now, this was off of the International Space Station. I believe this was August 2016, last year. Now look what's happening over here. So the light, we've got something else here, but the light, as you can see, is being refracted here, and look at here, where I thought that this thing was emanating from. Now I realize we're nearly 30 minutes into this video, but you have to admit, this is some strange, strange stuff. And this has been going on. You can see it. Nearly 15 minutes. And now you can actually see like it's retracting. Actually like it was a vapor. actually like it was being transported or the portal was closed. And then we get this red debris field that the camera, that's all gone. Is that not just wild? And it stays in this state until we get the sun rising. And this is what the other camera is showing. All right, here I am. So I know we're 30 minutes into this, but let me show you now what the light spectrum showed. Okay, so what I've done here is I've turned the sound off. I actually went in, and this is using different light filters, taking the gamma, contrast, saturation to begin to see what it is that we're actually seeing. So I'm going to speed this up. Now watch what I do here. Look at this, folks. Okay, I'm just going to let this play out now. So you remember the first beam? Look at that. Are you seeing this? I know you are. So you tell me, can you now see how clearly these spears? Look at this, folks. Look at that. You can actually see these. Now look at just taking out some of the gamma, you can see for yourself. Look at that. Did you see where that came from? It's curvature initially. And now you can see the different spears. 1, 2, 3 that I can count. And they're as big as our planet. And these clearly look like they're under intelligent design. Look at. So I see 1, 2, 3 distinct. And you could actually see it. Did you see that? Did you see how it actually, I'm just going to go back here. You can actually see how it reacts. Watch this light. Look at that. And then what that is doing. Yeah. Told you it was weird. So what's your explanation? Last video, I'll get it racked up here and actually show you that our moon is not as big as we have been led to at least think it is. All right, so hold on one sec. Okay, so kind of this standard ISS view off of this camera. It's one they use all the time, but let me just advance it out here for you folks. There be the sun, there it goes. Now, um, pay attention to this object here. I don't know if that is a planet. I don't know what it is, but I do know this. It's an object that appears to have an orbit to the Earth. So I've asked the question many times, why don't we see the moon from the International Space Station? Now you can see that it's going in the same distinct um, digression as the sun did on its descension, excuse me. So I'm going to just advance it up here for you. Watch that object as it sets behind the Earth, and you can see it right there. It's setting. Now pay attention to this area right up here. You see it? That's our moon. Remember, these are not telescopes. These are cameras. And the moon is still 250,000 miles away, which a camera would probably pick up. That's why this object here, I say, is a planet, because I don't believe that that could be a planet. I mean, I don't know of a planet that's close to us. The only large celestial object close to the Earth, or at least that the ones that we know of, is the moon. And here is the, I don't know, there may be others videos that have actually captured the moon. I haven't found any. I was really excited when I captured this one, because it just kind of puts it in perspective. Is that, number one, we can see light, but light, when you get outside of the density of the Earth's atmosphere, becomes very much diminished. Apparently, our atmosphere not only acts as a lens, but also acts as a magnifying glass. It amplifies light. And when you start getting above the stratosphere, up there into the higher parts of the heliosphere of our planet, then objects, through the emitting of light of their own, whether that be reflecting, or I do believe that objects such as planets can in fact produce their own light. Now you would say, Wayne, that's foolish. Don't count me as being foolish. You're basing this on what the known laws we know today. Man has not achieved all knowledge yet. There is so much that we don't know about even light, the visible light, much less the true light. So there you go. It is clearly, as you can see, it's pretty. We've seen this crescent moon. I just like to have them actually do one on a full moon. I haven't been able to actually have a picture that I've seen from the feeds of actually showing the full moon. I think the reason why they don't is that because they know that people would have this cognitive dissonance take place, because they're used to seeing the full moon from their spatial perspective on planet Earth. And it begins to sink just like it does. And this is about the normal speed that the moon would travel. And as you can see, as it sets behind the Earth, it disappears. Okay, told you this was going to be fun. So let me know, what is your explanations for the retrograde sun with the smoke trail? Two, what were we looking at with those spears that were planet-sized spears? Those were outside the you know, the habitats. What were we witnessing there? And then, now that you've seen what the moon really looks like, pretty interesting, isn't it? All right, folks, have yourself a good day. Be kind to yourself, and be kind to all living things. No, it's hard to do sometimes, but remember, there's only one of you, and you're special. You are a sovereign, intelligent, sentient light being. All right, we'll talk soon.